Dear friends, welcome to yet another installment of Strategic Power. In this video, we explore the grave tensions between Israel and Iran, with Israeli Minister Yair Lapid issuing serious warnings about possible direct retaliation from the Hebrew state against Iran should Iranian attacks occur. We analyze the military capabilities of groups like Hezbollah and the response of the Israel Defense Forces. The question remains, is Israel being firm enough in its approach, or should it further intensify its preemptive strikes? Watch until the end to better understand this complex conflict. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid said today in an interview on Israeli radio that if Iran attacks Israel, Israel will respond directly on Iranian territory. He also posted this message on Twitter, tagging the Iranians, indicating that Israel is very serious about the matter. I believe Israel will not leave a direct attack on its territory without a response, and according to foreign reports, they have the means to do so. For example, it is said that Israel has submarines in the Gulf that could reach Iran, and also that it has ballistic missiles capable of reaching that country. Therefore, Israel has options available. We'll see if they take any action. But it's hard to imagine a scenario where the Iranians directly attacked Israel, and Israel responded by only attacking Iranian agents. They would likely have to respond by attacking Iran directly. Hezbollah, in southern Lebanon, is basically a terrorist army. They are well-trained and battle-experienced, and have already faced off against ISIS, which is a major enemy of the Iranian regime. They have approximately 50,000 active members and another 50,000 reservists, forming a force of close to 100,000 men. They receive training from Iran and follow its orders when it comes to attacks on Israel, as we have seen since October. So basically, Iran is behind all of this. We clearly see the impact of Iran's activities in this region, especially here in Israel. Approximately 880,000 civilians are currently displaced within their own country, having been evacuated from their homes in northern Israel to the center and south of the country to escape the rocket attacks that have been launched on Israel from the 7th and 8th of October by Hezbollah, acting under the orders and control of Iran, which is behind all this activity. But it's not just in the north where we feel it. Iran is striving hard to expand its influence even further south of Syria. That's why we saw, for example, according to foreign sources, that the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, took out Mohsen Rezai, a high commander of the IRGC, since the death of Qasem Soleimani in January 2020 by the United States. He was active in Syria as part of Iran's efforts to build up larger forces and establish a terrorist army on Israel's border within Syria, increasing the pressure on Israel's borders. Another example is the southwest, where Iran has made massive investments, providing massive training and funding not just for Hamas, who was responsible for the October 7th attack on Israel, but also for Palestinian Islamic Jihad, who acts as an Iran proxy. Additionally, the Houthis in Yemen are disrupting the sea lanes and trade in the region on Iran's orders. There really is a concerning array of threats coming from Iran, stretching from Iraq, through Syria, reaching Lebanon, and going down to the Gaza Strip, plus along the coast of Yemen by the Houthis. All of this is coming to a head now, and at some point, this regime in Iran will need to be dealt with. Finally, the significant threat coming from southern Lebanon through Hezbollah, a complete proxy of Iran, needs to be addressed decisively. If Hezbollah utilizes all its assets, it has the capability to launch 2,000 rockets per day, anywhere within Israel, for at least 100 days. This would be a very challenging rate of fire for the Israel Defense Forces and the Israeli people. This situation is not sustainable, and that's why many Israelis hope the Israel Defense Forces will act determinedly in southern Lebanon against Hezbollah before things calm down after October 7th. As for the reaction of the Israel Defense Forces to the danger represented by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, and not just the threat, but also the attacks and launches of ordnance into Israeli territory by Hezbollah, I believe the Israel Defense Forces have not responded vigorously enough. I know this is a minority opinion, but that's what I think. Each day that goes by, this opinion is reinforced more, especially since the October 7th event, when Hamas carried out that terrible attack against Israeli civilians from Gaza into southern Israel. At that moment when Hezbollah joined the conflict, in my opinion, the Israel Defense Forces should have acted against Hezbollah first, to drastically reduce at least their air power capabilities. They have the potential to launch up to 2,000 rockets into Israel per day for at least 100 days, and they also have approximately 100,000 Iran-trained terrorists in their army. Since October 7th, despite the fact that approximately 880,000 Israelis are displaced within their own country, only approximately 245 of Hezbollah's approximately 100,000 fighters have been neutralized by the Israel Defense Forces. In my opinion, this is not enough. It is not a vigorous enough response. It is not significantly impacting Hezbollah's capabilities. And although we missed the opportunity to act against Hezbollah first, before going into Gaza, I sincerely hope that once hostilities in Gaza conclude, the Israel Defense Forces will concentrate its efforts in southern Lebanon. Israel is prepared for any eventuality. It currently has approximately 3 divisions positioned along our northern border with southern Lebanon. This is the moment where the Israel Defense Forces decide whether they want to conduct operations within southern Lebanon or if Hezbollah will be used to retaliate for the death of Mohsen Rezai, which seems unlikely. Any such retaliation is more likely to come from Iran's proxies in Iraq, not southern Lebanon. However, should this happen, the Israel Defense Forces are ready to be deployed, and the Israeli Air Force is on maximum alert at all times.